The overall cost in hurricane damage has yet to be tallied. For that, the Bahamas will lean on outside help. According to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest, an international team will visit in 2 weeks to assist with the assessment and arrive at what he called a sure figure.
The assessments on island from the local teams are starting, I think it's this week. So they will start doing those assessments this week. The rapid assessments have already been done, so we have some idea of the damages. But they're going now with the technical teams to do exactly what you're asking, which is to assess what the cost of reconstruction is going to be or likely to be. We have some rough numbers, but again, too early to say exactly what that may be.
Meantime, the Bahamas drawing down on its policy with the Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility as the long road to recovery begins post-Hurricane Dorian. With that angle, we turn to a report from our BJ McDermott.
The Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility, or CRIF as it's widely known, will pay out nearly $11 million to the Bahamas in the aftermath of Dorian's widespread destruction and devastation in Abaco and Grand Bahama. And according to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest, that figure does not include rainfall insurance. Now, as CRIF explains on its website, the payouts are made within 14 days of an event, but that in this case, an advance payment of 50% was made to allow the government to begin addressing its most pressing needs. The remaining 50% is to be paid within the 14-day window. Since assuming office 2 years ago, the Minister administration has paid CRIF some $5 million.
We are pleased that and confident that the coverage is worth it. Heaven forbid a storm like we've seen with Dorian hits Nassau. The damage and the cost would be astronomical. And without some kind of protection like the CRIF, we would be flat out for a long time. Trust me. One of the things that people in New Providence, areas that have not been hit by a major hurricane, don't understand the magnitude of the loss. And not only in terms of the physical loss, but in terms of the economic and the mental loss. These are significant events, and we cannot do it on our own. We need the protection, we need the risk protection in order to be able to at least address the immediate needs.
Meantime, donations continue to pour in from the international community. The question now is, how will those funds be distributed?
The government has organized a restructuring committee or disaster recovery committee. And they will kind of prioritize and determine exactly how the money is spent. But obviously we know that there's going to be tremendous private sector need. There's also going to be commercial sector need in terms of low interest loans, loan guarantees, grants for small businesses to ensure that we get the commercial sector up. So there's going to be a whole combination of incentives and initiatives that we're going to undertake to get these communities back up and going as soon as possible.
When asked, the DPM said he could not say just how much money the government has received in donations, adding that a detailed report will be given to each donor, accounting for every penny. Reporting for JCN News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Well, $500 million is what local insurers expect to part with in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, and that's a conservative figure, according to the Bahamas Insurance Association, which is really guesstimating based on its payout following Hurricane Matthew in 2016. Now, such an exorbitant figure may spark some degree of concern, particularly in the face of premier international credit rating firm AM Best Insurance Rating Organization's recent advisory that several local insurers are under review. Well, BIA Chairman Warren Roll assures they're all committed to meeting their contractual obligations to clients.
This is the modus operandi for AM Best following any major disaster, as they are required to provide objective commentary on any material development that may lead to a rating downgrade. In fact, even the largest insurance and reinsurance companies in the world are occasionally subject to this review status. As the release indicates, there are robust reinsurance programs in place, which are vetted by the industry's regulator, the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas, to ensure that there are adequate protections in place to cover the risks that we assume. We again wish to reassure our clients that the AM Best release in no way impedes or affects the industry's financial wherewithal to pay claims, which every effort will be made to settle fairly and expeditiously.
The chairman added that all insurance companies are aware of the risk faced, particularly living in a hurricane zone, and as such, companies ensure their reinsurance programs are robust enough to withstand such natural disasters and the claims thereafter. However, there's the forewarning that clients be careful of outside or international adjusters who may come into the country and offer assistance in settling claims. Tim Ingram of Summit Insurance reasons that sometimes international insurers may not understand the Bahamas' policy conditions, which leads to a protracted process.
And in fact, the claims where they get involved tend to be the ones that take a bit longer to settle because we find they're overinflated. We find that there are things in there that are not covered by our policy but may be covered by a policy in another jurisdiction. So talk to your insurance company first before you decide whether or not you need to contact anyone else. Most of the time when you contact someone else that's issued your claim, especially those who come across our borders, be aware that they will have a significant fee which they take from your insurance settlement to do what they do.
Again, if you're unsure about your policy, the BIA strongly advises you contact your insurer. Over at the Department of Labor, officials are readying themselves to compile a list of evacuees. This is expected to make it easier for hurricane victims to access their unemployment benefits.
All persons who qualified, who are in Nassau, either living in the shelters or with friends and family, and we're putting a procedure in place beginning today where they can get a fast processing of their unemployment benefit. That would be a big relief for a lot of the persons who are here in Nassau. We're also doing the same thing in Grand Bahama and in Abaco.
Now, as for employment for displaced residents, Labor Minister Dion Folk says the department is looking to stabilize as many families as fast as possible.
We're looking at a special initiative with the Ministry of Public Service. It's something that we are going to discuss this morning in Cabinet. I do not want to preempt Cabinet's decision, but an announcement will be coming forward very shortly with respect to immediate employment opportunities for those affected on both islands.
This all in hopes of cushioning the blow Hurricane Dorian's expected to have on the country's unemployment rate, which just recently recorded a decrease. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.